What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out radical gender ideologue wants to take kids away from parents.
Democrat colleague, Mr. Cohen, say that your circumstance could have been fully resolved if we'd have just had some barriers up in the women's showers. Do you think that that's a sufficient way to resolve what we're dealing with here?
I think by Representative Cohen admitting that we need barriers acknowledges there are biological differences between men and women. And by acknowledging that we need to have private spaces that are separate from each other, why can't we just use the locker rooms that we've always used, the men's and the women's? If you're acknowledging that we need protection and privacy from these men, then you're acknowledging that the locker rooms we've always used are the correct ones.
My next question is for Shannon Minter. Are you familiar with the changes in law recently in Washington State regarding transgender youth?
Yes.
And as I understand it, it used to be the case in Washington State that if a youth showed up at an emergency shelter, there was a legal requirement to notify the parent within 72 hours in the absence of some abuse or neglect. Is that your understanding of what the law was then?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is correct.
And then the law changed, where now in Washington State, if someone shows up to one of these shelters who's a minor and says that their parents don't agree with them changing their gender, that the shelter no longer has to notify the parents within 72 hours and can instead notify a government authority. Do I have that right?
The parents will be notified. There's no question about that. This simply allows for a delay in order to allow them to investigate to make sure this child is going to be safe. There's no question that the parents will be notified.
How long should parents have to wait, not knowing where their child is, while a government process is playing out to make a gender determination?
There's no reason to treat these situations with transgender young people who may be in danger or at risk of.
Why do they always keep bringing this in danger or at risk? A child leaves the parent. You don't think the child or the parent is thinking about the child's protection or care? I can't even talk anymore. Okay, I'll keep my composure.
Abuse at home any differently than we would treat any other child, where we have reasonable basis to worry about that and to investigate that.
But it does treat them differently.
A short delay to protect the safety of young people is always warranted.
But how long is the delay? How long do you want a parent not knowing where their kid is because the kid says they want to change their gender? Just tell me how long a delay is you think is appropriate.
I want authorities to treat these kids with the same care they treat all other children.
Answering.
But
it will be a short delay, and the parents will be notified.
Because you won't tell us how long a delay. So if you're watching this, just imagine you're that parent and you don't know where your child is. And the law now says there's a 72-hour period where the shelter has to notify you. And that 72-hour period for any child of any gender or any circumstance is a period to investigate whether there's abuse in the home. But beyond that, beyond 72 hours, you got to tell the parent. And so it's really important to understand here what the proponents of radical gender ideology want. They want to stand between a parent and a child on these important decisions. And I don't think it's abuse if a parent says, I'm not going to get my child gender blockers. And it's odd to hear you advocate for the law, because just moments ago in testimony you said, and I wrote it down, parents have a fundamental right to make healthcare decisions regarding their children.
And then he's saying the exact opposite. I mean, I won't put words in his mouth, but kind of what he's saying, yeah.
But if in Washington State today, the parent makes the decision that they're not going to provide that gender-affirming care, what it does is it unlocks for the government a window of time to keep the child away from the parent and to not tell the parent where the kid is. Oh, please, get over yourself. What's terrible is when you have this incongruent desire of the government to restrain the ability of parents to parent. And I can only imagine the terror that a parent must go through not knowing where their child is. So I think that's really challenging. We've also seen in the state of Alaska, Title IX, which was established for girls' sports, to be used as a justification to socially transition a child against their wishes. Ms. Scanlon, as a beneficiary of Title IX, as a female athlete, do you think Title IX should be used in that way?
Absolutely not. Swimming did a lot of really good things for my life after I'm a sexual assault survivor, and swimming was one of the only things that I had to keep me going when I was struggling with that. And to think about young girls that are not going to be given those same opportunities because Title IX is being reworked and rewritten for these new people that have different definitions of what a woman is.
Yeah, I'm against.
Disturbing.
You can sense the pain in her voice. She can't even express herself. She's stuttering.
Against transitioning children against the will of their parents, and I'm against transitioning Title IX away from an asset for women's sports to this strange social justice cause that is deeply misguided. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Like, why is this even a discussion? How does it make sense? A parent gives birth to a child and is responsible for feeding the child, clothing the child, schooling the child, but not responsible if the child wants to change the agenda against the parent's wish. The parent doesn't have any input. It's like the government is now the government's child. Like, the logic it's not logicking. The logic is not logicking. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't even know how this is a discussion. How, like, people in authority with, intelligent people, I would believe, with good education will come and sit down and be talking about things like this. This is common sense. Like, it's something that if you say it to people in Africa, they laugh it. Like, you just laugh it off. Like, it doesn't make sense, guy. You just get out. But this is a discussion. Nah, this is just, I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about this one. But I don't know where I stand on this issue. I'm not against people doing what they want to do. But when it comes to parent-child relationship, don't dilute that. Don't. It doesn't make any sense here. And also, why are you letting kids transition when you can let them grow and make these decisions when they are older? Let them make it when they are like 18 and above. Even 18-year-olds are still very young, but at least you consider them adults then. This is the end of this video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.